just listening into the little bit of that show just now. Appreciate you guys having me on, man. Big day for both teams.
Big day, man. I mean, from your perspective, what are the Knicks getting in OG Anunoby, man? How did you react to this trade?
Man, I actually sort of agree with what both of you guys are saying in terms of it being a stepping stone into what the future of this team is, positions. There was a stretch last year where one night he's guarding Donovan Mitchell, one night he's guarding Joel Embiid, the other night he's guarding Jason Tatum. And I think that shows you the strength of what he can bring on the defensive end for this team. The Knicks have been awesome defensively this year. Obviously, missing Mitchell Robinson this year is going to hurt them, but for the most part, I think if you look towards the future and assuming that you guys re-sign OG, it's going to look really, really good defensively with this nucleus. And you're building something that I think inevitably at some point in time will help you take that next step into a contender.
You want to jump in?
So what do you think of the Raptors getting IQ and RJ for that team? Like, how do you see them moving forward? Like, do you see IQ being the starter or replacing Dennis Schroeder? Where do you see RJ
Fight.
sliding into the rotation for the Raptors?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think both those guys will end up being starters for this team. I'm interested to see the RJ proponent in this and how he fits into all this, to be honest with you, just because he has been inconsistent in the shooting department, and he's had seasons and stretches where he has shot the ball well, and then he's had seasons and stretches where he hasn't shot the ball well. So depending on any given night, he might be your starter, and they need that floor spacing and shooting. But ultimately, I kind of like just like his extra creation juice that he provides for this team, being able to get his own shot, get downhill, et cetera, et cetera. I think the big get for the Raptors here is quickly. I mean, they were so star-deprived, they were so guard-deprived, that they just needed to get another guard in there. And, I've probably had discussions with some of you guys on this as well. I know I've had it with a couple of other Knicks fans that, quickly is ready to become a budding star, in my opinion. He's ready to take that next step in his
Fight.
career. There just wasn't the minutes available for him in New York. And from a Knicks fan perspective, if you're looking at this and rationalizing, well, man, quickly could have been a star in New York, and OG, yes, he might help this team right now, but maybe we're letting go of a player who might end up being better in the future. You have to look at this from where the Raptors are, what direction they're headed, the opportunity that they're going to be able to give quickly, and the opportunity that OG is going to get in New York to help this team currently. In my opinion, I think it's a win-win off the face value of it. We'll see what they'll end up being in their careers, but for the most part, quickly needs that room to grow into whatever star he'll be. He'll get that opportunity in Toronto.
Yeah, he absolutely does, and that's why I'm happy for both players, for RJ and his family to go home, and for Quickly to get an opportunity to shine. I definitely like those players on this team. It's not an easy trade, man. It's not an easy trade. I just felt like there was going to come a time where guys were going to get sacrificed, man. And
fight.
And this was it. This was it.
What? It's funny you say that it's not an easy trade, because I actually think those are the types of trades that end up being pretty fair. Because from a Raptors perspective, you look at this and say, man, OG, he fits well next to Scotty Barnes. He's 26 years old. He's entering his so prime. Obviously, he's a unrestricted free agent. You got to pay the guy, but for the most part, you feel bad letting a guy like that go as well. And he's been a huge part of this franchise for the last, 5 or 6 years. So it's tough, and I think that's what makes this sort of a fair trade.
Fight. KO. Round 2. Fight. KO. You win. Round 1. Fight!
No!